let's listen to interpersonal dilemmas related to programming. The oldest among us probably remember that during communism, there was an injunction against work and how disastrous economic effects it had. Our next speaker, Helvira, will now ask, is there an injunction on the passion for programming, and can it become a trap? Everyone knows this developer who is super duper passionate about his job. Many people around him are not at all as passionate as he is. So the question is, are they too weak? And should they match his level? Or, on the contrary, do you need to be passionate to be a programmer? In front of you is Helvira Goma, who has an extremely interesting story about the great divide between developers. Let's listen.
Hello, can you hear me? Okay, I'm just waiting for the last person to take a seat, and we'll start. Oh, I keep it there. I'll keep it in my hand. How are you doing? Fine? You ready? I know it's after lunch, so it's not my favorite time because usually people tend to fall asleep. But I will do it. I will make everything for you to feel comfortable and to bear with me. As I've had some lunch also, and I'm starting to fall asleep as well. No, I'm kidding. Okay, so the question here. Hello, hello, hello. Okay, great. So here's a small disclaimer for you today, is that don't sue me, okay? Everything you will be seeing today is coming from me and my personal assistant, Midjourney, okay? So, once upon a time, there was this planet called Valhalla, and on this planet, as you can see, it's pretty beautiful and with a lot of mountains and forests. And on this planet, Vikings are lived, and they are also web developers. So, yeah, I found it funny to have a planet like that. I hope it exists. We don't know. So, on this planet, you have two sides. You have the Firy side, represented by the chief Lagata. Their motto is passion. So for them, they have this sentence they say is passionus dominus est. I made it up, okay? And I'm aware that Google can translate in Latin, so don't say that on my commentary. I say that because someone said that to me. Yeah, I'm aware. And the other side, the Asgard side, where work is the motto, they have this sentence, they say, travaillus absolus est. Quick translated, it means the work is absolute. So they are on the icy side. And here we are, all of you with me today on our PHPCon spaceship. We are heading to Valhalla planet, and we're going to meet them and to answer the infamous question, does it matter, passion, as a programmer? Is it something that we should have? And they hired us to help them solve this question and maybe prevent them from going to a big fight with each other. So here is today's topic. Another thing is that during that topic, I will ask you some questions. So when you want to say no, you don't say no, you say highs. With your strongest voice. I see that there are only men here, so you can do it. And whenever it's a yes, you can scream fire, like this. Fire! Or ice! Okay? You get it? It's pretty simple as a thank you. Okay, so first question for today is are you passionate about coding? If not, you can ice for me, please. Come on, make it louder. I can't hear. Okay, perfect. And if you're passionate, fire for me, please. You see the ice team? It's time to wake up, okay? So, as what I hear, most of you are passionate about coding, and it's okay. So, what is passion? Passion, we can see that through like the love. Obviously, there is some passion involved in love stories. You have the passion flower, and you have also activities, diverse activities that can become passion. So we all know about passion, but in the dictionary, they state that it's an intense emotional state, irrational, that dominates someone, or also is defined as lively and persistent inclination. This has to be opposed to the obsession. Obsession is an idea, an image, a sensation that imposes itself on the mind repeatedly, uncontrollably, and painfully. So it's a constant preoccupation. It has nothing to do with passion. Okay, so now that we do the regular definition, we can see that there is passion everywhere. Like whenever you Google passion, for example, you can like find, I picked up for you some quotes about passion that makes you feel smart when you post it on Facebook. So the first one is never work for money, work for your passion. Yeah, passion does fill your fridge. We all know that. Passion is the difference between having a job or having a career. What else? Work with passion or not at all. Skills are cheap. Passion is priceless. Known, but people of strong passion are capable of rising to greatness. Okay. And allow your passion to become your purpose, and it will one day become your profession. Yada, yada, yada. You all know, so everybody knows a quote like this with passion on it, okay? So, yeah, fire. Thank you, you got it. Okay, so what I did is a simple game is, at your opinion, what is this number, the 4,000? Someone? No idea? You can... No, it's not a prime number. It's not that deep, okay? Okay, now we have a debate about prime number. That's really, really interesting. I love it. Okay, so here is me going on Google last night, going on one of the most used website for job searching in Poland. And this is when I wrote down just passion with nothing on it, how many results I got. Okay, so we have to put it depending on the country. You have more or less. For example, I did the same in France, and it's like 50K of results. So let's go together. So I found this, for example, job offer for a CRM lead, saying you are adaptable and open to new ideas with passion for continuous improvement. Okay, you have to be passionate about improving the code, I guess. Yeah, I agree. You got it. Thank you. You know what? I love Poland for that now, because you all get it, the ice fire concept. Okay, this one, for example, also a CapCut template creator saying you have a proactive mindset with passion for innovation and staying ahead of industry trends. I would like, okay, you need to be passionate, okay? Chief of staff, a passion for streamlining processes and solving complex problems. Okay, I don't know what does it mean concretely, like as a skill. But yeah, customer success specialist, strong interpersonal skills with a passion for remote remote relationship building. That made my night yesterday night. I was like, okay, I got a gem right now. And a demonstrated passion for science, education, and the belief that video, technology, da-da-da. And I was like, okay, you have to be passionate for that also, I guess. This one also, recruiters with knowledge and passion. I don't even know what it means, seriously. So, as you can see, even random job offers have this word passion on it. So what does it mean when you go with with some scientific studies? This is one of them, called divergence between employer and employee understandings of passion, theory, and implications for future research. So what did they do on this paper? They analyzed over 200 million job offers from 2007 to 2019, and they found out that the occurrences of the word passions is 10 times. Times 10. So that means that the more and more we go year after year, the more you found passion in your job offers. And I think we get used to that so much that it doesn't strike us that it's weird kind of to ask for passion for a job offer. Okay, so at work, concretely, what does it mean? Here is a thing like we are going to go to the theory of all of it, and then later the fun, okay? So bear with me with the non-fun. So here is a study that is called Psychology of Passion, a Dualistic Model. So what do they do on that study? They try to find all the to find a way to describe the passion applied to work or applied to an activity, and to analyze it and give it some sense, if that makes sense. Yes, you like it? Okay, let's continue. Activities, okay, they found that there is a passion for, we describe as passionate activities that stand out for their enjoyable, important, and because they are particularly aligned with the individual's identity. What does it mean concretely? Okay, small story time. I had a passion when I was a kid. A passion for, will you guess it? No? 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 Dictionaries. Yeah, you couldn't get it. You couldn't get it. So, so why does it align with my identity when I was a kid? Because when I was a kid, I had something for words. So to know that there was a book with all of the words in the world, I was like, wow, I need that book. And then it's like it became kind of my Bible. Every time I was like reading pages and pages just to know more vocabulary. So it sounds silly, I know, but at that time I pretty much enjoyed myself. And these activities are internalized by individual in the self and identity. And this internalization process can whether be controlled or autonomous. And this influences the type of passion you will develop later. What does it mean? It means that there are two types of passion that are psychologically valid. There is the obsessive passion and the harmonious passion. So we go deep dive on it. What is harmonious passion? Harmonious passion means that the internalization of the activity is autonomous, meaning that it allows the individual to freely choose to accept the activity as important or not without contingency. And there is a possible harmonization between the exciting activity and the other spheres of the subject's life, meaning that there is no frustration and you can even discover other interests, other passions. Okay, it is the opposite of the obsessive passion, because on the obsessive passion, it's not autonomous, it's controlled, meaning that the subject who is obsessively passionate about an activity will feel an uncontrollable excitement provided by the activity and the uncontrollable need to do the activity in a really rigid way. It has some advantage because it can give a better performance for the individual, but it has also some disadvantages like conflicts or in the different spheres of the subject's life. That means the guy or the girl who is always saying when coding, 5 minutes, I'm coming in 5 minutes. And then 6 hours later, you find him like still in front of the computer, still programming and not even paying attention to your presence. So yeah, I've been there. I've been the one saying 5 minutes. Or also when, for example, you're working on a tricky subject while programming and there is a solution, but it still escapes, and you can't find why it doesn't work, and it triggers a really, really deep feeling of anger for nothing. That's kind of a clue that means that this person is obsessive about programming and take it personally, kind of. It's a machine, so don't worry. It's okay if it doesn't work. So here I tried to give you the summary of what all of this means. It means that when you're on the harmonious passional side, you have flexibility, you are free in your engagement, and you have a balanced life-passion ratio, meaning that you're satisfied work, you have creativity, you are more happy. In the contrary, and you have positive emotions. In the contrary, when you're obsessive, you're rigid and you're literally controlled by your passion, meaning that your life passion ratio is unbalanced and you have negative emotions. You have also risks of burnouts, and also you can go in take excessive risks. For example, we can correlate that to people who are addicted to gambling. There is the same almost mechanism under this, meaning that the people who gamble, at the beginning, it's excitement, it's something fun, it's cool, and the more they go into this, the deeper they go into their addiction, and the more negative effect you can see. So, knowing all of that, I know it's boring, you can sleep, it's okay. Knowing all of that, some of you identify as team harmonious? Fire for me, please. Fire. It's just, yeah, not too much people. I hear like about 10%. Okay, and on the obsessive passion, there's no judgment. You can say it freely, okay? Oh, I'm sorry, guys, for you. I'm sorry. I get it, but I'm sorry. And yeah, I'm worried, okay? So what can you do when you're on the obsessive side of the passion? You can first take a step back, as Frozen say, let it go, okay? Try to explore new horizons. Don't take it personally or seriously, and talk about it. Talk about it even to someone who doesn't know what you do, or even doesn't know what is programming, but try to reach out, and maybe that way talking to someone else who maybe lived the same thing or doesn't will help you at least recognize that there is an issue, and maybe you can find your way back to the balanced life. We can have the question later, but I feel you. And yeah, you're not getting too old for this crowd, okay? So, what are the advantages? Because there are advantages, obviously, maybe. in your opinion, do you think that being passionate is an advantage? Eyes for me if no. Okay, no highs here. Okay, you're all fire side. Okay, yeah, of course there are advantages, especially for the employer, because the passionate one tends to work harder, to voluntarily do overtime, to thrive through overcoming difficulties, because he's like really, really. You say highs. Maybe not you, but usually, generally, and they tend to be more productive and have more joy, maybe. So this is for the work side. And when thinking about this question about whether we should be passionate or not, I was saying it's simple. People who are not passionate should be passionate. Why not? Okay? So, do you know the 10,000 hour rule? Fire for me is yes. Okay, I guess that's 30% no. The one who doesn't know, ice for me, please. Okay, I get it. So, this was introduced by this guy, he looks really nice, called Malcolm Gladwell, and he wrote le livre. Oh, my French is coming back. Sorry. He wrote a book about called Outliers, and on that book he said that when someone is doing an activity for 10,000 hours, he becomes an expert. So for me, I was like, okay, if people who are not passionate code for 10,000 hours, they will become experts, and on their way to being an expert, they will become passionate, because obviously spending 10,000 hours of your life on coding, like it creates some bonds, maybe. So, and I tried to maybe to find a study that could go with it. And I found one that doesn't go with it. It's called The Relationship Between Deliberate Practice and Performance in Sports, a meta-analysis. So what did they do on that study? They analyzed performances of athletes in relation to the number of hours of practice of the said sport. And they recognized that it is this rule, this 10K hour rule, only fit for 26% of the athletes, meaning that this rule is absolutely not an absolute, and nope, you can't pretend that you become an expert in 10K hours of practice and then become passionate. It doesn't work like this, okay? So, what are the limits? Because, okay, the non-passionate cannot be passionate with us, obviously. When thinking about it, okay, the 10K rule doesn't work as well. So maybe there are some limits on passion. So that's here the subject of my question. Do you think that as I'm passionate, I should get a better salary? Ice for me if no. Fire for me if yes. I see that there are some people like, oh, you're different. It's a different crowd, because usually there is no one say fire in this question. But I love your honesty. At least you're honest. Okay, so this is the study of this talk. It is called Understanding Contemporary Forms of Exploitation, Attributions of Passion Serve to Legitimize the Poor Treatment of Workers. So, what did they do on that study? They did a meta-analysis, like analyzing 7 different studies. And they try to explore the way passion is perceived when applied to the workplace, and explore maybe the links between passion and exploitation. Yeah, it doesn't sound funny at all. Okay, So for the first study, I picked up for you because there are 7, and we only have 1 hour, so I didn't plan to explain to you the whole meta-analysis, but I encourage you really to go and take a look at this because it's really, really interesting. So for the first study, of the 80 pages of this study, they were exploring the question, are people more likely to legitimize exploiting workers from professions that are more strongly associated with passion? What do? They took 2 cohorts of people, and then they gave them this list. So obviously you can see that you have probation agent, funeral director, social events organizer, veterinarian, you have software engineer, and you have also programmer and jockey, and a lot of different professions. And they asked them, in your opinion, how much does a typical person in this profession love his job? How well is a typical person in this profession paid? And how important is this profession to the community? So I will skip directly to the results for you because it's really long. And they found out that for the people, the 2 cohorts of people, it is more legitimate. What does it mean? Okay, it is more, the exploitation is more legitimate when you are in the context of a profession strongly associated with a passion. When I read that, it struck me because I thought about the game developers, for example, because some of them are working under really, really exploitative conditions, but nobody seems to realize that because it is strongly attached with passion. Because for people, when you're a game developer, you're obviously passionate about video games, but it can be for you just a 9-to-5 job, as everybody, you see. And also, they have expectation for these workers working in a strongly associated profession with passion, a strongly associated with passion profession, sorry. These workers will voluntarily work more. That means that if your profession is correlated with a strong, associated with a strong passion, it means that for people who see you, they will think that it's normal and even expected for you to work more because you're passionate. And we voluntarily, okay? And on the second study, they say, may people view identical forms of exploitative treatment as more legitimate when it is directed toward a strongly passionate worker. What do they say? They took 100 people and they made a comparison between 2 artists, one passionate and the other not. The same condition, really, the same age, the same field, the same everything, nothing different. Even the talent, the effort, the quality of work, same people. The only difference is one is passionate and the other is not. And also they try to ask them, does friendliness influence the legitimization of exploitation? So this is the result. It's scientific, it's a bit boring, so I'm gonna skip to the conclusion. No, I'm kidding. I'm just gonna skip to the conclusion because I think it's more interesting for you today. For these 100 people, it is normal to work more if you're passionate. It is normal to earn less. Remember the question I asked you? Should I be paid more if I'm passionate? For most of people, you should be paid less. Passion should be the only reward, and there is a confusion that is made between someone passionate and someone living situations that are extremely and purely exploitative. For them, it's like, okay, he's passionate, so it's not exploited, is passionate, so that's okay for us. And what they say also, what they did also in the third study, they tried to include the belief in justice scale. Do you know about the belief in justice scale? No? Okay. I see that everybody doesn't know about it. It's a really fun tool scientists use to see for an individual at which point does the individual think the world is just and fair. So they ask 6 items, like for example, I think basically the world is just a is a just place. I'm confident that justice always prevails over injustice. I think people try to be fair when making important decisions. I believe that by and large, people get what they deserve. I'm convinced that in the long run, people will be compensated for injustice. So people answer that. So they know what is their belief in justice scale, and then to these people they presented 2 situations. One situation that is really extremely exploitative for the character they present, and the other that is neutral. And what did they find out? They found out that the employee who is being exploited is perceived as more passionate. And this, whether the people in the study believe in justice and fairness in the world or not. I'm letting you sink in it, because when I read that, I was like, okay, well, how is it possible that people that believe in justice and fairness, when they see an employee being exploited, they think is passionate. It didn't make any sense for me. So I was really confused after reading this study, and I thought to myself, okay, this question is too difficult. Why did I do this talk anyway? I should just throw it away and don't talk about it ever. I thought, okay, so there's no way for people who are not passionate to come to the passionate side. Okay? There is a limit in being passionate, because you can simply find yourself in exploitative situations, and even people around you won't see that because they think you're passionate. So this is not an unfair situation you're living. You're passionate. There's no point. So I thought to myself, what can I do for these people, Valhalla, to bring peace? What will be the white flag, maybe? So I was thinking, because these 2 worlds are so different in the way they think, that it's quite complicated to find a common ground. But there is one: pleasure. P-L-E-A-S-U-R-E. Yeah, I know my alphabet. Pleasure. Pleasure, the thing that we all have in common. And no matter if you're passionate or not, we all have some kind of pleasure when we code, when we achieve something that was difficult. We all experience this. So I thought maybe people should be just together in the pleasureness and not think about the situation. Okay, so because, for example, for myself, I'm passionate. I'm extremely passionate about coding, really passionate. I went from obsessive, and now I'm kind of in the middle between obsessive and harmonious. So I went back to the obsessive side when I switched jobs and found out they were using a remote tool that helped you create a video game on it. So I spent 2 weeks of my life like just creating a video game on it, and then I thought, okay, you're too obsessive about this. you should calm down and relax and maybe watch TV or something else. So that's what I would like to say to the Valhalla people. Maybe find yourself in this middle area of pleasure and not thinking about passion or not passion, but do you take pleasure in solving problems together? If yes, there is no point for this debate. So now then what? What can you keep from this talk? Because I talked a lot, yeah, I know. I said a lot of really theoretical, really boring stuff, so for you. So what can you keep from it? I love to do a small thing, is like whenever you see a letter, you will see a letter. Let me explain. In the next slides, you will see one letter under the red one, and I want you to shout the letter because it sounds really cool in the audio. So, you ready? Fire for me, please. Are you ready? Thank you, I love that. Okay. Come on, some people were not ready. Again? Thank you. H for harmony, because you must find some harmony in your coding, and passionate or not, you have to not get involved that much that you forget that you have a whole life outside of the computer. T, because timing is important, and it's a matter of timing. It's not because you see this developer that codes since he's 10 and is really passionate about it and can speak only about it that it means that you suck. It just means that he's on his time frame, you're on your own time frame, and it's okay, let it go, okay? T for toil. Toil meaning that there is a hard work beneath this question, or even in our field, because don't forget that programming is really difficult, it's tough. So you have to kind of find some kind of enjoyment, some pleasure to go through this and even have a career on it. P for pleasure, of course. Take your time, have fun, and just don't think about, oh, I'm not passionate, it's not good, or I'm too passionate, I'm passionate, so everybody should be passionate. I met this guy and I was like, no, you won't get me on that side, okay? Not everybody should be passionate about coding, and it's okay. S for self, because you think of the others, but look, the issue is within you and yourself. It's not the other who is not passionate and should be, or the one who is too passionate and should not be. It's you, what you think, how you live your situation as a web developer, not getting exploited, not getting in a really dangerous situation that leads you to burnout. That's really what I want you to keep from it. It's a matter of yourself, not a matter of one community versus another, because it doesn't matter. And even your computer doesn't know the difference about the passionate coder and the non-passionate coder. It just compiles and do the job, okay? So for me, I want you to keep in mind the HTTPS method. Yeah, you didn't see that coming. I was like, come on. So what would we say? As you see, the Valhalla people, we talk to them, they're happy, the blue and the red are walking together side by side because they found out that they all experience pleasure when coding, and there is no point for them to have a fight. They should be fighting over planets. You know, they're Vikings, come on. So, this is what I would love for you to keep from this talk today. I'm Helvira Goma. Thank you so much for listening. And I think we have some, I try to keep time for talking later, so we have some time, right? Yeah. So does anyone have a question? No, I don't, but maybe one day. We'll see, but I just discovered earlier what game development implies, and I'm trying to build tools or build small games just for myself, just to see how it works. So maybe this will be my next move. I don't know, but I'm just having fun, and I've taken pleasure whenever I found it. So. Another question? I don't bite. Not yet. No, I'm kidding. I saw the obsessive one. Don't you have any question? Oh, okay. So okay. You had a small issue with something, and then after that, I resolved it. Okay. Okay. If you enjoyed it as I did, feel free, be my guest. Okay. You can talk about it. Oh, okay. I didn't get it. I'm sorry. Okay. Thank you. Thank you so much. Does anyone have a question or a remark or something to say? Feel free. We have time.
So maybe I will say something.
Okay, say something.
From my point of view, it's not a question of an exploitation.
Okay.
Compared to the in the manner of effort, because who has a passion, he really doesn't give a shit. He's just doing his work, and it's something that makes him happy. And the problem is that we have to understand the other side of the wall, who's just doing their job. And we, for example, passionate people, we are really happy because we are doing what we love. And in addition, somebody's paying for that.
Yes.
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 And we have to keep in mind that there are other people who doesn't necessarily share this kind of attraction, and they just want to do properly their job.
And it's okay.
And the biggest problem is that we have a CEO who thinks that everybody has to work as a passionate one.
Yeah.
Because we don't count the overtime. We don't give a shit for the overtime.
Maybe we should.
And what for? What for? I think it would be nice to be paid more.
Yeah.
Nice. But if it's not possible,
but
at the same time, I'm doing what I really love. It's just balance everything.
I agree with you.
One last thing.
Yeah.
The question. Sorry.
I love how passionate you are.
No. It's not a passion. And the last thing you told me about the obsession of reaching to a goal.
Yeah.
So from many people's points of view, the way it's really hard to achieve. But the moment when we achieve the goal after a long struggle, it's really comparable for one thing. And I'm enough gentle not to mention that thing.
Oh yeah, I get what you mean. Yeah, I get what you mean, and I agree with you. But I think the passionate people should also find a way to balance this out, because for example, what I do when I feel I'm passionate, obviously, and I code every time. But there are sites I can show you. No, I don't. I won't show you. But I have a really large. I even have a hard drive at home where I store all my projects, just like that, or GitHub, on anything. I just push, but it's for myself. I know I'm not exploited because I'm exploiting myself. So it's not the same as when you go overtime on your work, because there is a huge difference when you do it as a side project. For example, you work late at night, but it's for a side project. and then when you do that for a company, it's not the same thing at all. And you have to be careful about that. And also, we have laws, so you can't do whatever you want because you want to. You see what I mean?
Yes, of course.
So that's really my message for people who are passionate. It's, okay, you have the right to be passionate, but be careful, okay? And don't be obsessive about it because your health is at risk. That's the issue. You don't see that because you're like, you're getting a thrill from your passion, but at the moment, the more you go on that way, the more it becomes difficult for you to keep a balanced life. And it's all about that, being human, being balanced. So, yeah.
One more thing, just to mention that the question that just to think about is the relation between passion and addiction, maybe.
Yeah.
I'm not sure because I didn't see any of this in your presentation.
I mentioned it really slightly here. Let me show you the slide concerned. Where is it? Here. No, here. I mentioned it here, like addiction risks. So yeah, definitely when you're obsessive about your passion, there is
hard to I lost the word, to distinguish between obsession or passion in general and addiction.
Yeah, that's why I talk to you about this dualistic model of passion, because in that you can really see that you have the harmonious passion, the obsessive one, and then later on this study, also the dualistic model of passion, it's the name of the study, you can see that they warn the reader that when you go on the obsessive path, it can, that's why I took the example of gambling. It can lead you towards the addiction side and towards taking more risks. Ignoring your own health, for example, is a part of taking really excessive risks. So I get it. Maybe the next time I will more go deep in that because it's really, really interesting. Any more questions? No? Thank you so much. A last fire for me, please. Fire! Thank you so much. Thank you so much. Feel free to reach out or to talk to me in the lobby. I don't bite, I promise.